Dark Dawn racing cars. Arya Singh is, of course, well and truly ahead of the rest of the pack. What's happened here is, I get a feeling that Amir Saeed's moved into 4th and Ruhan Alva's dropped down to 5th because Arya Singh is well and truly ahead of the rest of the pack. So he has moved head and shoulders away from all the others. Then there are 2 Dark Dawn racing cars right behind him, with a gap of probably about at least about 4 seconds is what it seems.
To be honest, it looks a lot closer to 7 seconds than 4, because it's just the way, the ease at which Arya Singh is maneuvering through this racetrack.
Absolutely. Tijil Rao is running 2nd, and then there's Ashwin Datta in 3rd. The battle's on for the 4th spot now between Amir Saeed and Ruhan Alva, and also in the mix here is Sandeep Kumar, who's dropped places. Remember, Sandeep had moved to 2nd, but he's dropped places, and I think he's dropped out of the top 5.
I'm just looking forward to this battle, this continuous battle between Ruhan Alva and Amir Saeed. Remember, both when they were with the Novice Cup category, they were from the team M Sport, but now obviously they've moved, one step up. They've gone on to the LGB Formula 4. While Ruhan is still with the M Sport, Amir Saeed has moved on to Ahura Racing. There's that bit of rivalry. Both of them were champions of the Novice Cup category. Both are now plying their trade with the big guns as well. So this little battle between Amir Saeed and Ruhan Alva, we'll keep an eye out on that. While the 2 in Tijil Rao and Ashwin Datta, they have their own little battle going on for 2nd and 3rd. While Arya Singh is comfortably well ahead of all his teammates and all the racers on the racetrack.
We showed glimpses of what he's capable of. Even last season, I remember there was a race where it was pouring and Arya Singh had a fantastic race despite the rain against stiff competition. So this young lad has got a lot of promise and a lot of talent, and he'd be looking to win consistently and stake a claim for the overall championship.
So we're done with the 8 laps in this race, halfway through, one might say. And Arya Singh, he needs to just continue what he's doing and he'll get the checkered flag. And in fact, the way things are going, Dark Dawn 1, 2, 3.
Absolutely. Tijil Rao's in 2nd, Ashwin Datta's in 3rd. And that's the way, in case it finishes that way. I'll tell you what, I get a feeling here that young Amir Saeed is going to be under pressure because Sandeep Kumar has overtaken Ruhan Alva and he's now breathing down Amir Saeed's neck. So in the top 5, you've got 4 Dark Dawn racing cars.
Sandeep Kumar himself, finished joint 3rd last season. And about, if I remember correctly, had 55 points. And he would want to do better than that.
So he's been multiple time national champion as well.
So he's, with the experience that he has, I think that's going to be another brilliant battle. The youth and exuberance of Amir Saeed. He wants to go fast. He wants to have a crack at it, and the experience of Sandeep Kumar right behind him. It's going to be a test for Amir Saeed as well, and it will be certainly, it will test the character of Sandeep Kumar because he's trailing a young buck right ahead of him, and we know Amir Saeed. He knows how to drive. He can race. So this will be a very interesting contest.
Oh, I loved what Sandeep was saying just before the start of the race. He said that all 4 drivers in front of me on the starting grid were younger than him, and a lot of them, plying their trade in this particular category much after he had proven himself. So he said it would be interesting to see how I can go up against some of these younger and talented drivers, and I'm sure I can prove a point.
And while we speak, I think it seems like Ruhan Alva's dropped further down. Alva's dropped down to 7th, and Viswas Vijayanand, another one of the Ahura racing cars, he's moved up to 6th now. Obviously, when the lap gets over, we'll get the updated timings here. And oh my word, that is Mohit Aryan, car number 7, and if I'm correct, Meera Erda as well, car number 42, involved in that. This is what happened.
Oh, and I think Meera Erda just went off the track onto the gravel and collided with the car of Mohit Aryan, whose race is over. And though she was able to rejoin the race was Meera Erda, I think another M Sport car took the damage because it collided with Mohit Aryan's car while coming through on the turn, and the safety car is out quite understandably. All that lead that Arya Singh had built up once again comes to naught.
He must be gutted, Arya Singh, that he's done so well throughout the 8-9 laps that we've had in this race. He's built that lead up. That's there. The live foot is coming in from that corner, and it is Aditya Swaminathan who's taken the brunt. Although Meera Eda, that's Meera Eda's car 42 colliding with the Mohit's car, and then coming from behind, it was Aditya Swaminathan who rammed into Mohit, and Meera Eda just took a calm U-turn and joined the race.
Well, the apple cart was overturned by someone else. Unfortunately, the brunt was borne there by Aditya Swaminathan and, of course, Mohit Aryan. So their race has come to an end. You can see those two cars being towed away by the recovery crew. So Avalanche Racing's Mohit Aryan, the lad from Avalanche Racing, his race being brought to a premature end, and Aditya Swaminathan of Bangalore driving for M Sport. Well, he's off as well, and I dare say there may have been a bit of oil spill on the track where the cars were being hauled off by the recovery crane, which is why you can just see a sprinkling of sawdust and sand just to kind of ease out whatever little oil spill that might have been there on the tarmac, just to ensure that the cars that are running this race do not get into any kind of trouble.
Another couple of minutes for the marshals of the recovery crew to get the track ready. Otherwise, we're going to have another lap behind the safety car. As Raman said, the sawdust was there, so that clearly tells you that there was an oil spill. They put some sawdust there, they'll just mop it away. But the lights are off and the safety car has gone into the pits, so we will have racing action resume, and Arya Singh once again doing what he does best, just slows everyone down and then zips ahead through that straight through the start-finish line. And it is a dark dawn 1-2-3 at the moment with Arya Singh, Tijil Rao and Ashwin Datta going through. 3 laps remaining in this race, and it's Arya Singh who's leading. This is now a time for young guns like Amir Saeed and Ruhan Alva to put some pressure on, because Arya Singh had built such a massive lead, about good 10-12 seconds. That's all been wiped away. He'll be under pressure, and he's been trailed by at least 5-6 cars right behind him.
I think this is also time for Tijil and Ashwin to be a tad more aware of the situation at the moment and ensure. Oh, there's another incident right at the back of the pack, and I wonder if that was Karthikeya and Chandrasekhar. Not Karthikeya, who's sitting right next to me in the comm box, but Karthikeya Chandrasekhar.
I'm sitting here where as safe as it can be.
Yes, but unfortunately Karthikeya and Chandrasekhar, the lad from Bangalore, slammed on the brakes, went off the track onto the curb and then the gravel, but he's rejoined the race, and you can see that car from Avalanche Racing, I think it was, which has rejoined the race. I'll come back to the point I was making. I think this is the time where you've got to be more race aware. Tijil Rao, Ashwin Datta, you've just got to be race aware. You've got a top 3 finish in sight for Dark Dawn Racing. And now look at that, Amir Saeed has been put under pressure by Sandeep Kumar, who's looking to move into the 4th position here.
I think Amir has got the inside line, so he might be okay coming into corner 1 and 2. And yes, from what we see, he is fine. Arya Singh continues to lead. Is Tijil Rao in second and Ashwin Datta still third. But tremendous effort from Amir Saeed, just fending off the experienced Sandeep Kumar. It's very easy for young guns and young bucks to just lose their cool and try and go extra hard. Little late on the break, and it can all end up in the end of the race for you. But he's kept his composure. He's been around the circuit for a couple of years. He's done very well in the Novice Cup, obviously, and in the LGV Formula 4 category last season. I think with every going season, he grows a bit as a racer, does Amir Saeed.
Yes, he does, and this young lad's shown a lot of promise. He's shown a great degree of awareness and maturity far beyond his years. I think that's what separates the boys from the men. When you're looking at the seasoned drivers, that's what the composure, the decision making makes all the difference. But for the moment, I'll just highlight here. Now we're heading into the business end of this race. It's going to be the final lap that's coming up in just a bit. The catch here is for these drivers, especially the dark brown racing drivers, to realize that they've got a top 3 beckoning. You don't want to be doing anything overtly spectacular here. Hold positions. Ensure that you do not give it away from here. There are valuable team championship points up for grabs as well. And Dark Dawn Racing can get off to a spectacular start by making a clean sweep on the podium.
Absolutely. I think as far as Dark Dawn, a team is concerned, they'd be very delighted because it's coming down to a 1-2-3 as of what it stands as of now. But as individuals as well, as races as well, you know, you want to see competition there. We see that little move coming in from Tijal Rao, but very well done by Arya Singh, just slamming that door shut, not allowing Tijal to pass by on that corner.
This is where these young guns have got to be a little cautious as well. Keep in mind, of course, the points that are there up for grabs, 10 for a race win. So you've got a 10-8-6 coming your way, and this is just the first race of the season. An opportunity, and if you don't get it, then don't go for the overkill. That's going to be critical.
Coming through the final corner in this race, and it is Arya Singh who continues to dominate, and you already see Ashwin Datta celebrating, coming in third, and it is Tijal Rao who takes the second place on the podium. A terrific race for Dark Dawn, and Amir Saeed, by the looks of things, has come in fourth. At least he's amongst the points to start his season off. But Arya Singh, tremendous from start to finish, Raman.
Absolutely. Couldn't have asked for more. And Rohit Khanna was having a quick chat with the 2 Dark Dawn Racing drivers just before the start of the race. He's driven for Dark Dawn earlier. He said, just make sure you can keep the order going till the end, boys. And that's exactly what they've done. It's the same order for the top 2. Remember, it was Arya Singh on P1, it was Tijal Rao on P2. That's exactly the way that they have finished. Ashwin Datta's done one better because he's moved up in terms of the standings, and he's gone on and finished third after having started 6th on the grid. He's done exceedingly well as Ashwin Datta to finish among the top 3. Well, those are sights that you can't see if you're sitting indoors. The only way you can see it if you're watching this broadcast that we're bringing to you.
Majestic, to say the least. And it's not just one, there are a couple of them there. Beautiful sight, wonderful racing, terrific weather, and something as beautiful as this. I think that's worth waking up around 4 in the morning and coming down to Coimbatore. So that's your race winner, Arya Singh. Although Sandeep Kumar did put in the fastest lap of 1 minute 17.812. That was his fastest lap in the final, but he ended up finishing 5th. So it was Arya Singh, your race winner. Car number 12, as you can see, entering the weighbridge. That was Tijal Rao coming in 2nd. And Ashwin Datta would be delighted with himself. Started way back at P6, and he's gone on to take a podium position as he's come up 3rd. Amir Saeed, I think the way he started off the race, he's done a very good job to come in 4th, but knowing Amir, he'd be a tad bit disappointed, a little bit disappointed to not be amongst the podium finishers, Amir Saeed. Sandeep Kumar 5th, Vishwas Vijayaraj had a good race, comes in 6th, and Ruhan Alva, the young gun, the champion from the Novice Cup category last season, he's in the top 7, while former champion Raghul Rangaswamy finishes 8th. Anushree Gulati 9th, and Saran Vikram comes in 10th. So we're going through the mandatory weighbridge, and Raman, what a sight.
Oh, the national bird, the peacock in all its glory, and what a sight here at the Kari Motor Speedway in Coimbatore. There's racing action happening just a few meters away, and yet you've got beautiful wilderness and wildlife coexisting, cohabiting the space.
That is the beauty of Coimbatore, and that's the beauty of nature as well. While, as you said, On one side, you got race engines revving, and you got the mean machines out. Just a few meters away, got the beauty of nature in its full glory. So there are, that's your Dark Dawn team members. They'll be delighted. That was for a fraction of a moment you saw Tijil Rao there. Car number 99, Raghu Rangasamy, also able to finish in the top 10. Raghu started at P11 in this race and ended up in the top 10. Disappointing outing for M Sport, but a terrific start for Dark Dawn with a 1-2-3. Arya Singh, your race winner, Tijil Rao coming in second, and young Ashwin Datta taking third place on the podium. We've seen a brilliant race, the first in this category. That's the LGB Formula 4, and we've had a dominating performance by Dark Dawn. It's a wonderful race we've seen. Domination from Dark Dawn. Let's very quickly take you through the highlights. Dark Dawn 1-2 starting at P1 and P2. A tremendous start for both Arya Singh and Tijil Rao, and Ruhan Alva, in fact, who started at P4, had a very good start, moved up to third and did in fact put pressure on the front runners, that is Arya Singh and Tijil Rao, for a very long period of this race. Zanushree Gulati, number 24, is now up over and joined Dark Dawn, leaving Ahura Racing team. But joining Ahura Racing from Dark Dawn is Diljit TS. It seemed initially that Diljit wasn't part of the starting ring. That was one of the incidents when the car skid on corner 1. That was the end of Mohammad Anas Sheikh's race, car number 31, and that brought out the safety car for the first time in this race. And very quickly, just into the second lap, and the safety car went into the pits. A terrific restart for Arya Singh, one might say. Did very well to just hold everyone back, and when he saw that the safety car had gone into the pits, then he shot off and moved away from everyone. So these highlights will continue, but very quickly we will take you across to the prize distribution ceremony.
A challenge from the young
as they would like to call it. And the trophies will be started.
Ashwin Datta, Tijil Rao, and your race winner in red, Arya Singh. A Dark Dawn 1, 2, 3. Oh, you can see it's pretty breezy. Ashwin's just lost his cap. Hari Singh there, giving away the trophies to the race winners.
Come on everybody, let's give it up for Arya Singh from Team Dark Dawn.
Your race winner now on your screen, Arya Singh, the lad from Kolkata. He's got a big, huge smile on his face, and why not? Started the season exactly the way he would have wanted.
Congratulations, Team Dark Dawn. It's as spoken.
The constructor's title as well for the race going to Dark Dawn. All smiles as far as the Dark Dawn house is concerned.
Please raise your trophy one last time. Raise your trophies, Dark Dawn.
It's a Dark Dawn 1, 2, 3. Although it was Vishnu Prasad who won the championship last season, Vishnu driving in his M Sport. The team, the Constructors' Championship, went to Dark Dawn. But they would be hoping this time round that not just the Constructors' Championship, but also the Drivers' Championship comes their way. Now, quickly heading across to Raman Banot as he has a quick chat with the race winners.
What a fantastic finish for Dark Dawn. They've made a podium sweep in the very first race of round 1, and in fact, out of the top 5, 4 drivers were from Team Dark Dawn Racing. So the team that won the overall team championship last season in the Formula LGB4 have started off this season in style. Let's have a quick chat with the podium finishers. First and foremost, let's have a quick chat here with Ashwin Datta. Ashwin, started off 6th, in the end finished 3rd. Happy with the result?
Happy.
Well, you said this. It's not the best thing to start when you were on P6. I'm sure your mood would have changed from then to now.
Well, I'm happy. I'm not the happiest, but tomorrow I'll be the happiest. I hope so. So let's see.
Well, at the end, it's a 1-2-3 for Team Dark Dawn, so you couldn't have asked for more as a team.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, all the hard work our mechanics are doing at the moment, and all of this is because of them. So kudos to them, and Dark Dawn Racing is why we are here on this 3 steps. So yeah, let's keep it going tomorrow as well.
Well done. Let's have a quick chat with Tijil Rao. Tijil's finished 2nd in this race. Tijil, you thought you had your moments, didn't you? Especially towards the end of the race, and then caution prevailed.
Yeah, I think overall we had a really good race as a team. I think this is a very, very ideal position to be finishing. I was close to, getting a win, or at least try to get the win. But I think, yeah, man, Arya drove really well today. I gave it my all, but yeah, I think we had to settle for 2nd. But yeah, we'll see how tomorrow goes. Hopefully we can get a better result. And for now, I'm just really grateful for the team and all the mechanics that have been working day and night to get our cars at this spot. And I think they are the main reason that we are even on this podium, or even finishing for that matter of fact. So yeah, we have done a great job on the team side, and hopefully this is a good start to the championship. Hopefully we can progress the same way.
I'll go well tomorrow. And as he said, it's about the team. It's also about the man in the car doing his job. And that's what Arya Singh did today. Once again, clinical, Arya.
Yeah, last race I drove here, I won that. This race I drove, I won that too. But I think this one was, I owe it to my teammates as well, because I could see after a few laps it seemed like everyone disappeared, and of course they were battling hard. And yeah, it felt comfortable except that last safety car. But yeah, I think towards the end, Tijil gave me a nice run for my money. And we were hoping for that to happen towards the end. And yeah, and we have 3 more races and we have 1 full championship ahead. We're looking good. I'm glad to be here on the podium with my 2 best friends. And yeah, this is the best thing I could have hoped for.
Were you a little disappointed a couple of times in the race? The safety car came out when you'd built up a healthy lead, maybe 5 or 6 seconds over the pack, and then the safety car comes out and that lead's gone, and you've got to restart doing all that work, and it happened not once but twice.
Yeah, the first safety car was okay because I could surprise them with the start. A second time he was a bit intelligent to follow me up on that, so I didn't enjoy the second one. But yeah, for sure in the end what matters is we won the race. 1-2-3 for Dark Dawn, and yeah, in the end that's what matters.
Go well, congratulations on the win. There you have it, Team Dark Dawn with a 1-2-3 on the podium. As I said before, in the top 5 they had 4, because in 5th place was Sandeep Kumar, right behind Amir Said. So that's been a very, very good start for Team Dark Dawn Racing. We've got more racing action still left on the day. Don't go anywhere. It's over to Karthikeya in the com box.
Thank you, Raman. Beautiful sights here, right next, adjacent to the Curry Motor Speedway. The National Bird in all its glory. It seems that even the peacock is enjoying the festival of speed. The colors, such majestic specimen. This part of the world they are found in numbers. Words just cannot explain the beauty and the glory. So up next we will have the JK Tyre presents Royal Enfield Continental GT Cup. We had one race earlier where we saw Alvin Xavier take the checkered flag. Anish Shetty had to settle for 2nd, and in the amateur category it was Surya PM who'd gone on to win the race. Had Varun as well involved as far as the podium finishes were concerned in the amateur category. This is race number 4 of the opening weekend of the 25th JK Tyre FMSCI National Racing Championship. Round 1 underway at the Curry Motor Speedway in Coimbatore. As you can see, some bikes have their numbers in black, some have them written in red, and that's the differentiator. Which rider is participating as a pro and which is participating as an amateur. The amateurs have their numbers written in red, while the pros have them written in black. Manish Damodar Shetty, who won the title, the inaugural season, that was last year, had to settle for second in the opening race, but he would be hoping to go on and do one better. Bike number 1. That's one we'll have to keep an eye out for. Also bike number 2, his closest competitor, his rival, and a good friend as well, Alvin Xavier, who got the checkered flag, who got the win in the opening race. Now going to the racetrack where we have Raman Manor once again.
Right, we're ready for another race that's coming your way, and this is going to be the JK Tyre presents Royal Enfield Continental GT Cup. We've already seen one race earlier today. This is going to be race 2 of round 1. But before we head into race action, I have here with me Mr. Batena, who is also the team principal for Royal Enfield Continental GT Cup. Sir, first and foremost, you must be really delighted to see the amateurs come to the party and push the pros.
Yeah, actually last year we ran the GT Cup, and then we want to decide what do we want to do with it, how do you take it forward. So there was one thought process that we should not allow the guys who finish in the top 3 or top 4 and get in new blood. But I said I didn't want to lose the talent from last year. And what better way to improve the riding skill of the amateurs. So this was my idea, to run a Pro-Am series where we'll run them together, but 2 different sets of podiums. So even the amateurs get their own podium. And so they are not dejected. So they're also happy that they've got some gratification for their effort. And it so happens that as we saw in race 1, an amateur finished in the top 3. So he's pushing their pros. So it's a great thing. I think it's a great success, and I hope the boys take advantage of it.
Absolutely. We saw that battle between Alvin Xavier and Anish Shetty, but it was Surya, the amateur, who finished 3rd overall. In the end, took the amateurs title for that race. Just a quick thought. What's the kind of training or preparation that these amateurs were put through before they, rubbing shoulders with the pros?
I had a talk with them and chat with them and said that, see, it is unless and until you ride with better riders, you cannot improve your skill. So this is a golden opportunity for them to ride with better riders to up their game. Right. And hopefully by the end of the season, I expect more amateurs to be running ahead with mixing it with the pros, maybe not beating them, but mixing it with the pros. So that's what my idea is.
Super thought. While we talk about the amateurs competing with the pros, let's walk towards the bikes as well. For some of our viewers who might be watching the Royal Enfield GT Cup, Continental GT Cup for the very first time, who missed it last season, can you just quickly talk us through the bike mechanics per se, because this is as close as it gets to the the on-road version that you'll get with minor modifications?
The bikes are basically, engine is box stock standard, no changes to the engine. The only changes for performance change is the exhaust system, which is giving us 12% more power. And we have retuned the front forks, made them stiffer. We are running JK tyres made by JK this year. They're performing really well. We've upgraded the brakes. There are different calipers and disc pads. And the rear shocks are a little stiffer suspension. Right. And otherwise the bike is standard with just a fairing, and clip-ons and foot pegs have come from Harris, UK. Otherwise the bikes are absolutely standard. And they're performing really well. If I put this bike in a standard GT, together on the track, and the lap time will be at least 15 seconds quicker on this bike.
Wow, that's spectacular. But it's great to see these bikers maneuver these powerful beasts the way they have been. And credit to you and your team for customizing the bike so.
Thank you, and I think that the riders are taking a good amount of performance out of the bike, and they're doing good lap times. Last year we were down to 116. Now this year we have started 118. I'm sure by the end of the last round we should be down to 116s again.
We're looking forward to that. Thank you so much, Mr. Banana, for speaking with us.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And it's down to race action because it's under 3 minutes to go before this race gets underway. It's over to Karthike in the com box.
Thank you, Raman. So we are moments away from the start of the second race in this category. That's race number 4 of round 1 of the 25th edition of the JK Tyre FMSCI National Racing Championship. As you can see, 1 minute away from the start of this race. Very quickly, we'll talk you through the grid. Alvin Xavier, the race winner, starts at P1. Then you got Anish Damodar Shetty at P2. Surya at P3, Joseph Matthew at P4, Ullas Anand at P5, Anish Samson at P6, then you got Naresh Kaname at P7, Varun Gowda at P8, Rajkumar at P9, Bharat Balan at P10. Sudhir Sudhakar, the lad from Delhi, will start at P11, Ashish Patel from Vadodara at P12, we got Manveet Reddy from Bangalore at P13 as off go the riders for the formation lap. Shazan Khan will be at P14, Rohan at P15, Uday Prakash at P16, Ajay Xavier at P17, Mihir Sakpal P18 and Pradeep starting at P19. Anfal Akhdar, Navneet Kumar, Mika Viduraj, Siddharth Reddy, Sriram and Varun Patil did not finish their last race. Alvin Xavier, the lad from Thrissur, won the opening race in this category. It was a close battle between him and Anish Damodar Shetty. As far as the amateurs were concerned, it was Surya who won the race closely. Then it was Naresh Kamane coming in second and Varun Gowda taking the third place on the podium in the amateur category. Joseph Matthews completed the podium for the pros, finishing third. So the battle of the Titans will commence again as Alvin and Anish go up against each other in the pro category. And well, as the name suggests, all win. He's all in for the win. There's Alvin Xavier, and Anish is someone who doesn't like finishing second. So that's a recipe for a cracking race lined up just moments away as they come through the end of prize distribution ceremony.
A challenge from the young.
As they would like to call it. And the trophies will be started hand
Ashwin
over.
Datta, Tijil Rao, and your race winner in red, Arya Singh. A dark dawn, 1, 2, 3. Well, you can see it's pretty breezy. Ashwin's just lost his cap.
Match up with Ashish Patel, another amateur who hails from Vadodara, having problems with his bike.
I think Ashish had a similar issue in the first race as well. Well, now look at that pressure from Anish on young Surya. When I say young, because obviously he is in the amateur category, and that's why I refer. It's not something about his age, but he is an amateur and he's being pushed by a pro in Anish Damodar Shetty. Alvin Xavier remaining third. While it's still anyone's race in the top 5, to be honest, slightest of a mistake here, Raman, and that could cost you not just valuable points, but also possibly a race win as well.
Right, and looking at lap timings that these bikers are clocking at the moment, you look at the lap time for a time of 1 minute 18.437 seconds, which for him was his best lap till that point of time in this race. That's been his best lap, the biker on bike number 2, Alvin Xavier. And I was talking to Mr. Bhatena earlier, the team principal for Royal Enfield Continental GT Cup, and he said that the ideal scenario that he was hoping for was to see bikers clock during races a time of around 1 minute 16 and thereabouts. This, remember, is just the second race of the first round. You've got lots of racing action still to come, and I'm sure as the season wears on, the lap timings would definitely start getting under 1 minute 17.
Down to the end of lap number 6, and it seems that it is Alvin Xavier who's moved up to second now, pushing Anish Shetty down to third, while Surya continues to lead this race. He's driving so very well, and then you've got Ullas Nanda in the mix of things. He's fourth at the moment. So the top 5 very close. The gap between 4 and 5, that's Ullas and Joseph, is 0.297 seconds. So that tells you how close. You blink and you miss. That's the kind of gap that they have between the front 5. The total gap between 1 and 5 is even that is under 1 second, 0.932 seconds. So that tells you how close this is, how competitive this entire category is. Well, as another biker, it seems he does seem to be a bit hurt, and it is Shazan Khan, the lad from Bangalore. It seems that clearly his race has come to an end. And well, there is a big incident there, and that is Alvin Xavier has a contact with one of the bikes, and he's gone, he's walked off. As Alvin Xavier, what a blow, Alvin Xavier. Look what happened there. He was coming in, and there's that contact. It was Alvin's front tire in contact with Anish's back tire, the rear tire, and that was it. You see a bit of debris also coming out from his bike, and he was clearly very disappointed. Just punches the track when he was so disappointed and just walks off. Well, was a very interesting race, and Raman, we were talking about the margins, the pressure, and that's exactly is what's happened here. Although Surya does continue to lead, the safety car could be deployed, although the yellow flags certainly will be out.
Oh yes, this is of course the obstruction caused by Shazan Khan's bike, who'd crashed earlier. And I dare say the red flag has been brought out. The race has been red flagged. Take a look at what happened here. Challenge was due to a couple of incidents. This, of course, is the first incident involving Shazan Khan, and I think this is the reason why you've got the race being red flagged here, and I think medical attention being required, which is why Shazan Khan, as you could see, was receiving medical attention, the use of the stretcher as well, But that's the beauty of the kind of coverage that we have here of racing action at the Kari Motor Speedway in Coimbatore. The fact that you've got medical attention at the right place, available at the right time.
Well, hopefully he's fine. He was stretchered away into the ambulance was Shazan Khan. Clearly he was moving, so that's hopefully touch with nothing very serious. And there's obviously Alvin Xavier as well, although that possibly isn't one of the reasons for the red flag.
Yes, Alvin's incident, thankfully, as we saw Alvin walk away from that incident from his bike, it appeared as if he wasn't injured due to the incident, albeit his race chances of a race win or getting points from the race took a beating. But the good part was that he walked away apparently with not a lot of damage to his person, of course damage to the bike as well. Well, these are shots you would not want to miss.
Absolutely. That is one of the things that attract us to motorsport.
Yes, speed, the thrill and the excitement that comes with it.
Plus the glamour. You can't miss that out.
We're looking at two different things, Karthikeyan.
Well, certainly, Raman, obviously, just a couple of decades between you and me as far as the age is concerned. So we obviously have different outlooks towards how we see things.
It was a keenly contested race. Looking back at all that transpired, Karthikeyan, I think the moments here to look at, one, of course, this was the battle that was on among the top three. And look at Alvin Xavier's bike and the fact that his front tire made contact with Anish Shetty's bike's rear tire. I think he braked too late, thought he'd be able to take the inside line, and then disappointment writ large in his expressions, in his reaction to that incident. He's given away valuable race points thanks to that incident. Pushed at the corner to try and take the inside line where I don't think there was enough space for him to pass.
I think he's got himself to blame. We had about 2 to 3 laps remaining in the race. He could have just waited for another moment to try and make his move, Alvin Xavier. But well, he decided to go, and as Raman said, clearly wasn't enough space there for him to. And it's not, it's not one of those small bikes. It's a big Royal Enfield. It does require a bit of space to maneuver, and well, in the end, a contact causing Alvin Xavier the points, a race win, possibly a position on the podium. Who knows? Could have finished fourth. Still could have finished fourth and got points, but not a podium finish. So, well, what's gone is gone. And now all the bikers, all the riders are now standing at the edge of the pit lane, just waiting for further instructions, further orders as to how to proceed with the remaining laps in this race.
That I think we had 7 laps into this race when the race was red flagged. Now, the decision that's being awaited is, will we have maybe one more lap of this race? What's good to see is you can see another one of the bikers, Ashish Patel, walk out. Remember, he had crashed earlier. So we've had at least 3 incidents in the race that's been red flagged here. There was Ashish Patel crashing. There was Shazan Khan, whose bike collided as well, and he went down. And then there was the incident involving Alvin Xavier. So an incident-filled race in the end, the red flag being brought out.
So now that, Robert, we've had close to 7 laps done. This race has been red flagged. Does this play in favor of, if we restart the race with the remaining laps, whether it be 1 lap or 2 lap or 3 laps, does this play in favor of Anish Shetty now?
Well, I wonder, because it may well play in favor of the young Surya, you know, because we're still awaiting an official confirmation from the COC in terms of all that, you know, the kind of decision that gets taken now about whether we will have another lap on this race. But what's interesting to see is that with Alvin Xavier missing out on points after having won the first race earlier today, that's a big blow for Alvin Xavier's chances.
Certainly.
Remember, it's just the first round, but it definitely does dent his chances by missing out any points from this
Absolutely, and I think
race.
it's advantage Anish Shetty now because he finished second in that race, and so he got 8 points there. And if he's amongst points here, whether it be first or second or third, he'll get at least 10, 8, 6 points respectively. So that straight away takes him into the lead as far as the Bikers Drivers Championship is concerned. And he's obviously the defending champion. He's high on confidence. And Alvin, after winning that first race, I think he was just pushing a bit too hard there, and he's paid the price.
Yes, but let's talk about the positives that we've seen in the 2 races that have happened so far in the JK Tyre Presents Royal Enfield Continental GT Cup. And I think the positives for me, the biggest positive is the kind of performance we've seen from Surya. You know, an amateur biker who finished third in the first race that happened. Overall, if you look at his points, of course, he did take the amateur race win, but he was third overall in the race as well. Now, if here he's able to finish as the overall race winner, I think that's really creditable. He will, of course, you know, keep himself in the hunt for being the undisputed champion in the amateur class. But against the pros as well, if you compare his results, I think it's very heartening to see.
Absolutely, and not just Surya, but you know, if you look at the top 10 of the first race, the top 10 finishers, 5 of them were amateurs. So it's, you know, going head to head as far as the top 10 is concerned. 5 amateurs, 5 pros. So clearly, they're not here to just fill the numbers. They're here, like you know, we speak about the young guns in Amir Saeed and Ruhan Alva in the LGB Formula 4 category. It's very similar here with the likes of Surya, and then you have Naresh Kaname, Varun Gowda, Raj Kumar, Bharat Balan. These are the 5 guys who finished in the top 10. So this is very, very heartening. This is tremendous for the amateurs. And they say, you know, if you train with the best, you know, your game becomes better. So if these amateurs are racing with the pros, they'll only get better with every race, every season. Still waiting confirmation as to what will happen now. Will we have 1 lap? Will we have 3 laps? Will we have, in fact, any lap? Just waiting confirmation coming from the COC. But at the moment, I think Surya will be delighted with the way he's performed. Finished third overall in the race, and now he was leading the race when it was red flag. So he must be thinking, you know, a bit hard done by. But you can take it as another positive that, you know, had the race continued, he would have had to defend 3 more laps against the likes of Alvin Xavier and Anish Damodar Shetty. But now he might just have to defend 1 lap. And with Alvin Xavier not involved in the race, you know, half of the challenge is gone.
I think what he's got to look at is being positive. That's what got him into the position that he's in. And continue in a similar fashion without thinking too much about the opposition that he might have or the kind of challenges that Anish Shetty or the others may be able to pose. Let's, while we're waiting for an official result to come in on the status of this race, let's take a look at some of the high moments of this race so far.
So very, very good start it was for Anish Damodar Shetty. Remember, started at P2 and very quickly went on to take the lead. Surya, who started at P3, was second. Wasn't a very good start for Alvin Xavier. Starting at P1, he dropped down a few places, but was always there. Whether it be Anish, Alvin, along with the likes of Ullas Nanda. We have Joseph Matthew as well, Surya, all 4 5 of them involved right at the top. Anish had gotten a comfortable lead. He's leading by a fair margin, and he's very closely followed by Surya and Alvin Xavier. At that moment, Alvin had moved up to second and Surya dropped to third with pressure on him from Ullas Nanda. And this was the battle at the top between the two. Alvin, Anish losing his spot, and then this is the move that Surya made, coming in on the inside and moving ahead of the pack and taking the lead, leading Alvin Xavier and Anish Shetty. This was a brilliant move from Surya, and he kept it that way till we had racing action going on in this race. That was one of the incidents. Well, could have been very dangerous. Ashish Patel there were bikes following, coming in as well, very quickly just rolled out off the track, showing good presence of mind there. Still Surya leading the race, followed by Alvin Xavier. Doesn't look like too much of an amateur when he's riding.
Not at all. Showing a lot of confidence and composure as Surya, and took the race to the opposition. In stiff competition, took the race lead, while Anish Shetty and Alvin Xavier were looking to battle it out amongst themselves. Surya waited for his opportunity, and when he made the pass, he overtook them. This was the incident involving Alvin Xavier. I think hurt by the result more than by the incident. Alvin Xavier there, when his bike tyre collided with the rear tyre of Anish Shetty, bringing his race to a premature close. This was the incident involving Shahzan Khan, when he got injured, and since his bike was right in the center of the racetrack, he needed medical attention. The race was red flagged, and thanks to the medical facilities that are available at strategic points on the racetrack, he was able to get immediate medical attention, and we're hoping that the injury is not very serious. But the good part is that ample precaution is taken. Ample protection is provided to the bikers, and of course the medical facilities available right at the racetrack to ensure that immediate attention can be given to an injured biker. Remember, it's motorsport that we're talking about, which along with speed and the thrills does have its chances of injury as well. But then that's part and parcel of the sport. What you try and do, and what the organizers have tried to do over a period of time, is to ensure that the instances of injury get minimized, and if at all there is injury, then attention, medical attention is available right at the spur of the moment, right on the dot at the venue itself. We'll slip into a short breather and be back hopefully with an update on where this race is going.
तुम अपने रंग दिखाओ, डर की बैंड बजाओ, तुम अपने रंग दिखाओ. Just don't hold back, keep dancing down the track. La 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 la,
Kingfisher, the king of good times.
मैडम जी वो सारे पैसे लेके भाग गए और मेरा वड़ा पाव भी ले गए।
दिखाते हैं इनको।
मोटे वड़ा पाव।
डीलर निकाल दे इसके बाद।
पंक्चर के बाद भी इससे हवा नहीं निकलेगी क्योंकि ये है जेके पंक्चर गार्ड टायर जो कील लगने के बाद भी होता है ही।
क्यों निकल गई हवा?
जेके पंक्चर गार्ड टायर, अब हवा नहीं निकलेगी।
Welcome back to the live coverage of round one of the 25th JK Tyre FMSCI National Racing Championship. The second race of this category, that's the JK Tyre presents Royal Enfield Continental GT Cup. It's come to a grinding halt. It's been red flagged after a couple of incidents, the major one involving Shazan Khan. Alvin Xavier also involved in an incident, and his race has come to an end, although his injury wasn't serious. In fact, he wasn't injured. He was more than physical injury. For him, it was more of the frustration of not finishing the race.
Well, just a quick update that seems to be coming through from the racetrack is that since that race was red flagged, the second race of the JK Tyre presents Royal Enfield Continental GT Cup, it was red flagged after that incident on the racetrack. That race will not be resumed. As we were talking about it earlier, it was a 10-lap race, and since we had already seen about 7 laps of that particular race, with the race being red flagged, I think the officials will review race footage and announce a race result pretty soon. While we'll stay on with our coverage of racing action that continues in round one, day one, remember, of the 25th edition of the JK Tyre FMSCI National Racing Championship. We've seen exciting races in the Royal Enfield Continental GT Cup. We've had an exciting race in the JK Tyre Novice Cup, as well as the JK Tyre Formula LGB4 category.
So we've had great races in all three categories that we've had so far. That's the Novice Cup, the Royal Enfield Continental GT Cup, and the LGB Formula 4 as well.
And remember, tomorrow there's more race action coming your way with all these categories, and of course the other category that's been added on, which is the JK Tyre presents Endurance League Cup 2022, that's powered by United CRA, which is going to be the endurance race on bikes, which will be another new aspect being added on to this season. That's going to be coming up tomorrow.
Not just the race support, Ravan, I think the innovation as well keeps coming in from JK Tyre National Racing Championship. Last year we had the JK Tyre presents Royal Enfield Continental GT Cup making its debut. Now this year we'll have the JK Tyre presents Endurance League Cup 2022, which is powered by United CRA. So that race has come to a halt. That's the end of the race in that category. Still fairly bright and breezy out here in Coimbatore at the Curry Motor Speedway. now we'll have in a few moments the final race of the day. That's day one of round one of the 25th edition of the JK Tyre FMSCI National Racing Championship, and that will be in the JK Tyre Novice Cup category. That's the 5th race of the day, and then we return with more racing action tomorrow on Sunday. That's a Super Sunday with a lot at stake for a lot of drivers and riders. We've had an incident here where obviously Shazan Khan was taken away in the ambulance, and hopefully just minor injuries and he'll be okay. But another important aspect in motorsport racing is the safety car. The safety car has been deployed a couple of times in every race that we've seen so far, whether it be the LGB Formula 4 category, whether it be the Novice Cup category, and obviously we've just seen in the JK Tyre Presents Royal Enfield Continental GT Cup. And it's not, the safety car gives you, it's a multi-purpose aspect to have, because obviously because of an incident that's happened, it keeps the cars or the bikes that are now coming safe as well. Also, when everyone's following the safety car, it allows the track marshals to clear the track of obviously the car or the bike, and also the debris. So it has a very, very important role to play. But quickly, before the start of the next race, we'll take you to Raman, who's on the track, and he will talk more about the safety car.
Welcome back. Our coverage continues of the 25th edition of the JK Tyre FMSCI National Racing Championship. We've had a few races, we've had a few incidents on the racetrack as well. But as they say, when there's speed, there'll always be the chance of an incident. But what happens if an incident does occur on the racetrack, and what are the efforts that are being made to ensure that motorsport is kept as safe as possible for each and every contestant? Who better to tell us about that than Mr. Hari Singh, who is head of operations for JK Motorsport, a man who's been a rallyist himself, multiple-time national champion, who's been there, done that. Hari, we saw an incident a little while ago, but the fact that there's so many safety precautions that are being taken on the racetrack, I'm sure our viewers would like to know that.
Well, that's what JK Tyre has been very particular about. I'm not, you would say, 25 years and things are improving. I think we started off from day one as far as safety is concerned. And I'm happy to say that, till date we've not had a casualty which is extreme. Our recovery has been good. The safety standards have been really, really high. We've got ambulances, fire and rescue, extrication, all an experienced crew to handle all these things. So over the years we've only improved, but this is something that we've really concentrated on. This is the basics of racing, to make sure we give these young kids a very, very safe environment from our side. Rest, anything can happen. It's a sport that
Yeah, it does bring about its fair share of challenges. There are aspects. When you talk about safety, there's the manufacturer of the vehicles who provides a certain degree of safety. If you're looking at the single-seater cars, you've got the halo cage as well. You've got the hands, neck braces available, fire retardant suits. But that's in terms of the infrastructure provided by the automobile maker or the suits. But what you're talking about is the other so important element of organizers assuring safety on the racetrack.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I said. So it's very, very critical for us to make sure that we give a safe environment to these kids who are putting their, they're putting their best. The speeds are high. They're competing with each other. They just give it their everything. Right. And for them to know that we've covered their back is very important.
Hari, I'll just hark back. I mean, this is great to hear the fact that, these young drivers are being provided all the possible safety measures at the racetrack. But you've been a rally driver yourself, where it's more about off-roading than on-roading. And the kind of challenges that you faced, how have you seen things change from a safety point of view, from rallying to racing today?
Well, big changes. Cars have changed. We rallied in the Gypsies. Now we've got a lot quicker cars, the Balinos, the Polos. Speeds have increased many times. The rallies have become more competitive. We used to rally in normal shorts and a t-shirt, and there was no regulations as such because things were not available as well. So it's not to say that we didn't care about ourselves, but over the years, Hans, like you said, your fireproof overalls, fireproof shoes, gloves, everything's become mandatory now. It's become a lot safer. And obviously, roll cages in these cars have improved many times by using better material, which is now available than what we had back in the 90s or 80s. And overall, safety is improving every year. We bring in changes, whatever best possible, to the rallying as well, and racing as well.
Well, it's spectacular to hear that from Hari Singh, a man who's been there, done that. He was called the Gypsy King, a fact of the flying Sikh of motorsport. But this is a lovely car that we're standing in front of, Hari, which is the safety car. Since we're talking about safety, what a beautiful piece of machinery this is.
There you go. Once again, these cars are now available to us in India. You can buy them off the shelf. The AMGs, which were not even, there must have been a few, couple of 10, 15 AMGs at that point of time in India. But yes, now you can buy this is an AMG 35, a fantastic safety car. It's also used, Mercedes is a brand that is known to Formula One. It's been the safety car for them for many years now. And what better to have a AMG A35 for our safety car for our championship.
Well, thanks so much, Hari, for speaking with us, telling us all the measures that the organizers are taking to ensure a safe conduct of the JK Tyre FMSCI National Racing Championship. Thanks so much for speaking with us.
Thanks, Raman. Look forward to a good weekend now.
Looking forward to that. And while we've spoken with Hari, and we've talked about the safety car and the A35, I'm just going to go around and try and show you a view of what actually the car looks like, even on the inside. The two men who are inside, let's take a quick look at them as well. The man who's behind the wheel is Abhilash, and give a thumbs up there, guys. You got to get that mirror down. Yeah, give them a thumbs up. Yeah, we're all set. Yep. Yeah, these young boys, I call them young because they're always young at heart, and they're all set. So this safety car is lining up right in front of the racetrack, and what we're going to try and do is let's have a quick chat with Abhilash, who's actually behind the wheel of that safety car, because he's just going to quickly tell us a bit more about the role of the safety car. Abhilash, very quickly, you're the man who's been driving the safety car round after round. Just very quickly for our viewers, some of them might be watching this for the very first time. What's the role that the safety car is actually doing on the racetrack?
So, hi, welcome to the 25th season of JK National Racing Championship. I'm happy to be here, driving the safety car, and the safety car is deployed when there is an incident during the race, and we all prefer to make sure we don't use safety car at minimal so that the drivers get to race more. But then some incidents, yes, we have to deploy the safety car, and when the safety is deployed, we make sure the grid follows the safety till the cars which is involved in the incident is cleared and the track is clear for back to racing. So we go green and we let them race again.
Well, thanks so much, Abhilash, for telling us the details. Wishing you well, and let's hope that the safety car doesn't come into use much often, very often. Cheers so much. Thanks so much. While we're carrying on with our conversations here about safety, let's also shift our focus very quickly, because we've got a podium presentation that's happening for the JK Tyre Presents Royal Enfield Continental GT Cup. So we quickly hop across there and figure out exactly what's transpiring.
As you can see, that's the prize distribution ceremony underway for the JK Tyre Presents Royal Enfield Continental GT Cup. And obviously there are prizes given away in two categories, the amateurs and the pros. So after that incident, the race came to an end, and these were the amateurs that were awarded. Surya, obviously there. Then you had Raj Kumar. And now we're moving on to the pros in this category. That's Joseph Matthew coming in third. Ulas Nanda coming in second. And the winner should be Anish Damodar Shetty. That's the man with a huge smile on his face, with one behind him, and he will stand tall on the top of the podium. So just a quick reminder that the JK Tyre presents Royal Enfield Continental GT Cup is a mixed grid with both professionals and amateurs taking part. Just a few moments ago we saw the amateurs with the prize distribution ceremony, with Surya winning the race. There was Naresh also involved, and now these are the pros in the category that are your race winners. Anish Damodar Shetty, Ullas Nanda, and Joseph Matthew. Your winners in the pro category of the JK Tyre presents Royal Enfield Continental GT Cup. So we've had the prize distributions for the category in amateur and pro both, and now we have obviously none other than Raman Bhanot, who's in that prize distribution area, to catch up with the winners and have a quick chat with them.
An eventful race is what you can say, but in the end it's Anish Shetty who notches up a race win in the pro category. Great result for Ullas, who also ends up on podium, as does Joseph Matthews. Let's have a quick chat with the boys. First and foremost, I'm going to start with the man who's notched up a race win. That's Anish Shetty. Anish, eventful race. Just talk us through the moments, because you know you had Surya, the amateur, really putting the pump on the pros.
Yeah, it was a good race. Hopefully the guys who crashed are well and good to race tomorrow. And yeah, so the race panned out very differently, and the race pace was pretty much slow. For a couple of laps I watched, and I tried to slow down the pace of the race, and then Surya was ahead of us, so we thought it's better for him to lead because he's a different category. And I wanted to make a move on Surya and try to run away, but then there was double yellow throughout the track for this thing, and I had to stay back. Unfortunately, there was a red flag, but good, I'm on the top, but it will be good when we take the checkered flag on the top.
Just talk us through that incident involving you and Alvin Xavier. Alvin, his front tire clipping your rear wheel, and he had to spin off.
Yeah, I mean, it was a racing incident. He locked on the brakes and he lost his front to... He pretty much tried to avoid making a contact with me, so he tried his best, but there was a slight bit of contact. I'm sorry that he crashed, but it's okay, it's a racing incident.
Absolutely. But nonetheless, it puts you well and truly in command. After the first two races in this race category, you're the race leader. Overall, the championship leader. Wishing you well for the races ahead.
Thank you very much. Cheers, guys. Thank you.
That's Anish Shetty for you. Well, let's have a quick chat very quickly with Ullas and Joseph as well. Joseph, quickly come across here. For you, it's the second podium finish. So things seem to be going well today. Saturday has worked out like a super Sunday.
Yeah, it's going good. Let's see, we have one more race tomorrow. I'm hoping it should go well as well. So the weekend will be worth it.
Well, go well. You've picked up valuable points. That's the most important part. Ullas, just quickly talk us through your journey and the fact that you finished on the podium, in the very first round itself.
Yeah, first of all, thank you to Chamudeshwar Emma. Got the podium in first time in JK. So first race, there was a crash incident. So I went back to P11 or P10, I don't know exactly. So I fight Again, I came, me and Joseph, I caught up with Joseph, but in last 2 laps, I made a mistake, but he didn't make. So he finished on the podium. Overall, it is good because the more experienced person in national championship like Anishana and Suryana, I need to learn from them. So even small error, they run off. Even Joseph Anna is very good. I need to stop doing the mistakes so I can show the wheel to the friend guys. So hopefully I learn fast and adapt to the bike. We will fight in the top bunch again.
Savor the moment for a podium finish for the very first time today. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's Ullas for you. What a proud moment for him to have finished on the podium. That's, of course, the podium finishers for the pro category. Very quickly, let's take a look and have a chat with the amateur podium finishers as well. I'll quickly request them to come across. Surya and the gang, can you guys quickly come across for a quick conversation? Surya, can we have you join us on the podium very quickly, please? So let's have a quick chat with Surya. Of course, the winner in the amateur category, second win for him in the amateur category. But what was heartening to see was that you were leading the race overall. At the time, it was red flag.
Yeah, so the race was pretty good. The initial first 2 laps, I really didn't have the confidence on certain corners. So I was not getting the grip on the front tire. But after that, I really got the rhythm and my pace was really good. And then I took the opportunity when Alvin and Anish was fighting. And I just overtook them, 2 of them at the bowl. And then after that, it was like straight away leading the race for continuous till the red flag.
It's been a great start for you, albeit in the amateur category. You were third overall in the first race. You were leading in this race overall across the pros and the amateurs. What is it that you've done differently compared to the other amateurs to be so competitive against the pros?
So first thing is like I just made sure that I understand the bike. So that's what I was focusing on all the practice. So I'm not 100% on control with the bike, but I'm getting there. So even more faster it can be.
And what about the other podium finishers that you had in the amateur category? You seem to be setting the pace. So any bit of feedback or advice that you could share with your other fellow riders?
Yes, definitely. The riders are faster, and it's on a close margin. It's not a very big gap between the first and the second. So the pace is there for them, and I think maybe if they set up the bike properly, then things will get into their hands too.
Well, I'm sure you'd be liking to keep your hand well and truly ahead of the rest because you're competing against them. Go well. It's been a good start to the season.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Yeah.
That's Surya for you, the race winner in the amateur category. Let's have a quick chat with the other podium finish. The second podium finish for you today must be a happy moment.
Yeah, this is a really happy moment for me. My second podium in my career, actually, to be feeling happy.
And what is it that you feel that you've been doing better, that you've managed to get 2 podiums?
Feeling better. I just been on my pace, trying to catch up the pro riders on the front bunch. So race 2 was really nice. I was fighting with the front bunch people, so I was there almost. So yeah, really happy to be on the podium.
Savor the moment.
I would like to dedicate this podium to my special one. Thank you so much.
Go well. Well, we've got more race action that's commencing, so it's over to Karthike in the commentary box.
Thank you, Raman. These are live pictures from the Kari Motor Speedway, where we are in for the final race of the day. Of course, we have more action coming in tomorrow. That's second race of the JK Tyre Novice Cup category. We'll have 10 laps as the sun slowly and steadily starts to set down in Coimbatore, although it is still mightily bright, sunny, and as always in this part of the world, windy and breezy. This is the formation lap that's underway, and after that we'll have 10 laps of racing. Kyle Kumaran, who won the first race earlier on, He will be starting at pole position. That's the confirmation of the grid. So it's Kyle Kumaran at P1, Vineet Kumar at P2, Arjun Sham at P3, Aditya Parsuram at P4, Dhruv Goswami P5, we got Chetan Suruneni P6, Joel Joseph at P7, Aman Nagdev at P8, Navneet Burani at P9, then we got Kamal Kanan GK at P10, Anvay Hemrajani at P11, Kishan Bindal at P12, Adit Parashar at P13, Akshit Kumaran at P14, then we got Dylan Thomas at P15, Gaurav Kochar at P16, Nitesh Chaudhary at P17, Pravanja Parashuri at P18, Deep Singh Katnori at P19, Shivek Tyagi at P20, Shaurya Bhatt P21, Sanskar Jaiswal at P22, Rishan Ashwin, Surya Narayan, Abhinav and Harishit. And as off they go once again, it's a very, very good start for both the DTS cars. Remember, it was a DTS 1-2 with Kyle winning, although this time it is Vineet Kumar who's gotten off the blocks very well. In fact, he's taken the race leader. Now, there's an incident straight away at corner 1. Multiple cars involved, although Aman Nagdev, one of those, the yellow M Sport, car number 7, has managed to get back onto the racing track, while one M Sport, and it looked like one of the Momentum Sports motorsport cars that were at the receiving end of each other's skids. That's exactly what happened there. The nose as well of one of the cars coming out, while Aman Nagdev luckily was able to rejoin the race, the lad from Noida. Abhinav Narendra Kumar almost had a shave with catastrophe there. Car number 44, one of the older racing cars in this category, skidding on the track, but luckily for Abhinav, he was able to keep the engine running and continue with racing action. So that's Kyle, who's once again leading the race. In fact, it seems like we're in for a restart. It could be a possibility that we're in for a restart here.
Absolutely, it's been red flagged in the very first lap itself, so we will have a restart to the race.
So that's the second red flag in 2 races that we've had. First, it was the JK Tyre presents Royal Enfield Continental GT Cup. That's car number 74. Shaurya Bhatt's race has certainly come to an end, and this is what happens. You know, corner 1 certainly takes a couple of cars out every time we have a race start.
And look at that. I think that I was right when I said Dhruv Goswami involved in that incident. And there you have it. Aman Nagdev's car also getting involved in an incident, and he was lucky that he's able to rejoin the race. Not too much damage to his car, thankfully. But that was the end of the race for Shaurya. And for well, there's another car that seems to have beached just off the curb, and that is a car that belongs to Akshit Kumaran, another M Sport car taking the damage, as does Sanskar Jaiswal's car, a car from Quest Motorsport, the lad from Ranchi. His race is over, as is Chennai's Akshit Kumaran's race.
Well, it seems that corner 1 has taken out 4 straight away. That's what we can count, but one was the Momentum Motorsports, one obviously is an M Sport of Dhruv Goswami. Then we got this M Sport car number 66 on your screen. That's Akshay Kumaran, and we saw Sanskar Jaiswal car number 95 as well. So, well, certainly not the kind of eventful start they wanted, but it seems that Dhruv Goswami is back on the track. So that's just 3 cars. I say just 3 cars, but still, still fair bit of number. And we will have a restart. It wasn't a very good start for Kyle Kumaran, with Vineet Kumar, who's starting at P2, taking the lead after corner 1. But then it was Kyle who certainly got that lead back. But this time, I think another interesting thing, Naman, would be that the clear space in front of car number 9, that is Dhruv Goswami.
And that is because Arjun Sham Nayar's car, I think, has taken a beating. So that grid position has opened up. And there's another grid position that has opened up there with Arjun Sham Nayar.
Arjun was the Momentum Motorsports car we were talking about, who had that incident involved with both Dhruv Goswami and, of course, Aman Nagdev. Aman actually did manage to get out and get back to racing. So we've lost 3 competitors so early in this race. In fact, it will have to be restarted. Just have to see if they can actually, well, I'm very sure these 3 are not making it unless, you know, there's a miracle that happens. Clearly, that's not happening.
While we're waiting for this race to restart, remember it was red flagged on the first lap itself, and we're talking about red flags. Earlier in the afternoon, another race was red flagged, which was the JK Tyre Presents Royal Enfield Continental GT Cup race. In the 7th lap is when an incident took place, and there were 3 bikers who were involved in an incident, separate incidents it was, but though the race was red flagged, and one of the bikers required medical attention. The good news that's trickling in is that the biker who did sustain injury due to the fall is all right and is recovering. So we are happy to share that news with all our viewers who are watching this broadcast, and especially friends and relatives of bikers who were taking part in that particular race. They'd be happy to hear that that there isn't a serious incident, albeit the race did get red flagged. The fact there was an incident, but the biker has recovered or is recovering, getting immediate medical attention. Right, let's now focus on this race that's been red flagged, where the marshals are attempting to get the grid positions right. They're trying to align the cars as per the grid position. Because the incident took place on the first lap itself, the grid order will stand, which was the original starting grid, which sees Kyle Kumaran on pole, Vineet Kumar will be on P2. Arjun Sham Nayar's car took a beating as it went into corner 1, and I dare say he may not be able to rejoin this race for a restart. That's what it seems to be. Aditya Parsuram's on P4. Dhruv Goswami was also involved in that incident coming out of C1. Luckily, the team has managed to keep his car up and running, so he is on P5. And there is Chetan Suraneni, who is lining up on P6. On P7 is Joel Joseph. On P8, Aman Nagdev. While they're trying to replace the nose of one of the cars, and I dare say, I wonder if that's going to be quick work done on Arjun Sham Nayar's car, I wonder.
They've run right to the back of the grid, and if we look where Arjun started, Arjun was at P3. So but maybe because he's now, Raman, if the race gets restarted here, and obviously there's been enough time for the cars to go around and rejoin, they will start at the original position. It's not, is it that they will, if they are late, they'll join at the back of the grid?
Well, they will start as per the grid positions for the race, because it's an incident that's taken place on lap 1 itself, and the race is being restarted. So they will go as per the original grid positions.
Well, it could be Shaurya Bhatt whose car's receiving treatment at the moment. He's one of the Momentum Motorsport drivers. We saw one of the technical staff just carrying the nose, a blue color nose of the car, and that's clearly Momentum Motorsport. And if you look at the likes of Shaurya, who's starting at P21. Still repairs being made to Dhruv Goswami's car.
Yes, it's the
front right tire that took a beating, so probably work still being done on that.
Beautiful beast right at the start, and that's the safety car. The A35. 5 minutes again before we restart this race, and once again we will have another formation lap. So the race will restart, we will have the formation lap, and then we'll have 10 laps in the JK Tyre Novice Cup category. So in the couple of minutes, next couple of minutes, they'll have to very quickly clear the track, the maintenance and the staff.
And just as we caught sight of the 5-minute signboards, I also caught sight of Arjun Sham Nair, who's rejoined the grid position. So he will be on P3, and it was his car nose that was being repaired as well. So they've got him back. They've got the car back in running shape, or so it seems as of now.
Well, just we'll have to wait and see how that performs as the race gets underway. Under 5 minutes remaining before we have the last race of the day. Well, we still have a lot of racing action lined up for tomorrow. That's Sunday. This is the 25th edition of the JK Tyre FMSCI National Racing Championship. Round 1, day 1. We've had some brilliant races already across formats, across categories, whether it be the LGB Formula 4, whether be the Novice Cup category, and whether be the pros or the amateurs in the JK Tyre Presents Royal Enfield Continental GT Cup. So it's been a very thrilling and an exciting day, full of entertainment, full of high-octane racing, and we're just moments away, about 3 minutes away from the start of yet another race. You see Sarosh Hataria there, where he's leisurely with a smile walking right through the middle of the track.
Well, I'm sure you'll not be too happy with what's unfolding at the moment. If you look at the grid, the way things were lining up on the grid, he was hoping for some of the young drivers same grid. Starting grid will be the same. कोई भी नहीं वापस आ गया आगे सर जोड़ जाड़ के भेज दिया वापस एक बाहर हुई है वो नहीं पता बट बाकी सब आ गए टॉप शॉट एक बार टॉप शॉट संस्कार बाहर हो गया
So before we start, we just got 3 minutes, under 3 minutes before we restart the race. Very quickly then, just to refresh your memory, we'll take you through the grid of how it stands at the moment. Kyle Kumaran will start at P1, followed by Vineet Kumar at P2. Then you got Arjun Sham Nair, P3, who's just rejoined the grid. Aditya Parsuram at P4, Dhruv Goswami at P5. You got Chetan Suruneni at P6, Joel Joseph at P7, Aman Nagdev P8. Then you got Vineet Burani at P9, Kamal Karan GK P10. Then you got Anway Hemrajani starting at P11, Kishan Bindal at P12. Then we have Adit Parashar starting at P13, Akshit Kumaran at P14, Dylan Thomas Zakaria at P15, Gaurav Kochur at 16, Nitish Chaudhary starting at P17, Prabhanj Paruchari at P18, Deep Singh Katnori at P19. We got Shivek Tyagi at P20. P21 will be Shaurya Bhatt. P22 was Sanskar Jaiswal. I'm not very sure if he's rejoined the track. P23 was Rishan Bhatnagar, followed by Ashwin Kumar, Surya Narayanan, Abhinav Narendra Kumar, and Rishit Nisar. As off they go for the formation lap.
I think there'll be 2 or 3 cars missing on the grid towards the fag end, but talking about the starters in the front of the pack, keep an eye out on Dhruv Goswami, car number 9. His car was involved in the incident
How much damage has the car sustained, and can it last this restart is the key question.
So after the formation lap, we once again have 10 laps of this race, and Kyle Kumaran would want to continue from where he left off, winning off the opening race in this category earlier in the day. And Vineet Kumar will certainly want to do better. He had a great start when this race started, although he let that go. He'd be a bit
Last race. Well done, Digil, and it's
Hari Singh there,
to hand over the trophy to
giving away the trophies to the race winners.
Come on, everybody, let's give it up for Hari Singh from Team Dark Dawn.
Your race winner now on your screen, Arya Singh, the lad from Kolkata. He's got a big, huge smile on his face, and why not? Started the season exactly the way he would have wanted.
Congratulations, Team Dark Dawn. It's as spoken.
The constructor's title as well for the race going to Dark Dawn. All smiles as far as the Dark Dawn house is concerned.
Please raise your trophy one last time. Raise your trophies, Dark Dawn.
It's a Dark Dawn 1, 2, 3. Although it was Vishnu Prasad who won the championship last season, Vishnu driving in his M Sport. The Constructors' Championship went to Dark Dawn, but they would be hoping this time round that not just the Constructors' Championship, but also the Drivers' Championship comes their way. Now quickly heading across to Raman Banot as he has a quick chat with the race winners.
What a fantastic finish for Dark Dawn. They've made a podium sweep in the very first race of round one, and in fact, out of the top 5, 4 drivers were from
Ashwin Datta, Tijil Rao, and your race winner in red, Arya Singh. A Dark Dawn.
So the team that won the overall team championship last season in the Formula LGB4 have started off this season in style. Let's have a quick chat with the podium finishers. First and foremost, let's have a quick chat here with Ashwin Datta. Ashwin, started off 6th, in the end finished 3rd. Happy with the result?
Happy.
Well, you said this. It's not the best thing to start when you were on P6. I'm sure your mood would have changed from then to now.
Well, I'm happy. I'm not the happiest, but tomorrow I'll be the happiest. I hope so. So let's see.
Well, at the end, it's a 1-2-3 for Team Dark Dawn, so you couldn't have asked for more as a team.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, all the hard work our mechanics are doing at the moment, and all of this is because of them. So kudos to them, and Dark Dawn Racing is why we are here on this 3 steps. So yeah, let's keep it going tomorrow as well.
Well done. Let's have a quick chat with Tijil Rao. Tijil's finished 2nd in this race. Tijil, you thought you had your moments, didn't you? Especially towards the end of the race, and then caution prevailed.
Yeah, I think overall we had a really good race as a team. I think this is a very, very ideal position to be finishing. I was close to, getting a win, or at least try to get the win. But I think, yeah, man, Arya drove really well today. I gave it my all, but yeah, I think we had to settle for 2nd. But yeah, we'll see how tomorrow goes. Hopefully we can get a better result. And for now, I'm just really grateful for the team and all the mechanics that have been working day and night to get our cars at this spot. And I think they are the main reason that we are even on this podium, or even finishing for that matter of fact. So yeah, we have done a great job on the team side, and hopefully this is a good start to the championship. Hopefully we can progress the same way.
Go well tomorrow. And as he said, it's about the team. It's also about the man in the car doing his job. And that's what Arya Singh did today. Once again, clinical, Arya.
Yeah, I mean, last race I drove here, I won that. This race I drove, I won that too. But I think this one was, I owe it to my teammates as well, because I could see after a few laps it seemed like everyone disappeared, and of course they were battling hard. And yeah, it felt comfortable except that last safety car. But yeah, I think towards the end, Tijal gave me a nice run for my money. And we were hoping for that to happen towards the end. And yeah, and we have 3 more races and we have one full championship ahead. We're looking good. I'm glad to be here on the podium with my 2 best friends. And yeah, this is the best thing I could have hoped for.
Were you a little disappointed a couple of times in the race? The safety car came out when you'd built up a healthy lead, maybe 5 or 6 seconds over the pack, and then the safety car comes out and that lead's gone and you've got to restart doing all that work, and it happened not once but twice.
Yeah, I mean, the first safety car was okay because I could surprise them with the start. A second time he was a bit intelligent to follow me up on that, so I didn't enjoy the second one. But yeah, for sure, in the end, what matters is we won the race. 1, 2, 3 for Dark Dawn, and yeah, in the end, that's what matters.
Go well, congratulations on the win. There you have it, Team Dark Dawn with a 1, 2, 3 on the podium. As I said before, in the top 5, they had 4, because in 5th place was Sandeep Kumar, right behind Amir Said. So that's been a very, very good start for Team Dark Dawn Racing. We've got more racing action still left on the day. Don't go anywhere. It's over to Karthikeya in the combox.
Thank you, Raman. Beautiful sights here, right next, adjacent to the Curry Motor Speedway. National bird in all its glory. It seems that even the peacock is enjoying the festival of speed. The colors, such majestic specimen.
And in the end, didn't give an opportunity for the overtaking maneuver to be pulled off, and that's just very clinically done. Now remember, this circuit, the lap distance is 2.3 kilometers per lap, and it's got its fair share of challenges as well, including that hairpin bend. So you've got to try and pace yourself, pick your moments, pick your points on the racetrack when you're going to try and make that overtaking maneuver.
I think that's very important, Raman, because we saw earlier in the Check It Out presents Royal Enfield Continental GT Cup, Alvin Xavier. He had another 3 laps remaining in the race. He could have just picked this moment to try and overtake Anish Damodar Shetty, but that's just slightest of mistakes. Not only ended his race, in fact, ended the entire race for everyone on the grid. And it's patience. It's about patience, about waiting for the right window, right opportunity. There may be times that you will not get that opportunity, but at least it's better finishing second than not finishing. While we can see the yellow flags are out, so there has been an incident. Not very sure if the safety car will be deployed, but no overtaking as of now. On that corner, you see a yellow flag.
I think it's because one of the M Sport cars seems to be beached up on the curb, off the curb onto the gravel near the area where you just come out of C1, and that's the reason why the yellow flag.
As long as the yellow flag is there, no overtaking. If there is an overtaking maneuver during the yellow flag, it invites a penalty.
Yes, but I wonder if that yellow flag was purely for that first corner, because I dare say you can't see the yellow flag. In fact, it is being waved now.
And the safety car has come out. So again, clearly you see no more overtaking. They will follow the safety car in a very disciplined manner, with Kyle Kumaran continuing to lead the race. Vineet Kumar And Anish is someone who doesn't like finishing second. So that's a recipe for a cracking race lined up just moments away as they come through the end of this part of the world. They are found in numbers. Words this cannot explain the beauty and the glory. So up next we will have the JK Tyre presents Royal Enfield Continental GT Cup. We had one race earlier where we saw Alvin Xavier take the checkered flag. Anish Shetty had to settle for second. And in the amateur category, it was Surya PM who'd gone on to win the race. Had Varun as well involved as far as the podium finishes were concerned in the amateur category. This is race number 4 of the opening weekend of the 25th JK Tyre FMSCI National Racing Championship. Round 1 underway at the Curry Motor Speedway in Coimbatore. As you can see, some bikes have their numbers in black, some have them written in red, and that's the differentiator. Which rider is participating as a pro and which is participating as an amateur. The amateurs have their numbers written in red, while the pros have them written in black. Manish Damodar Shetty, who won the title, the inaugural season, that was last year, had to settle for second in the opening race, but he would be hoping to go on and do one better. Bike number 1. That's one we'll have to keep an eye out for. Also bike number 2, his closest competitor, his rival, and a good friend as well, Alvin Xavier, who got the checkered flag, who got the win in the opening race. Now going to the racetrack where we have Raman Manor once again.
Right, we're ready for another race that's coming your way, and this is going to be the JK Tyre presents Royal Enfield Continental GT Cup. We've already seen one race earlier today. This is going to be race 2 of round 1. But before we head into race action, I have here with me Mr. Batena, who is also the team principal for Royal Enfield Continental GT Cup. Sir, first and foremost, you must be really delighted to see the amateurs come to the party and push the pros.
Yeah, actually last year we ran the GT Cup, and then we want to decide what do we want to do with it, how do you take it forward. So there was one thought process that we should not allow the guys who finish in the top 3 or top 4 and get in new blood. But I said I didn't want to lose the talent from last year. And what better way to improve the riding skill of the amateurs. So this was my idea to run a Pro-Am series where we'll run them together, but 2 different sets of podiums. So even the amateurs get their own podium. And so they are not dejected. So they're also happy that they've got some gratification for their effort. And it so happens that, as we saw in race 1, an amateur finished in the top 3. So he's pushing their pros. So it's a great thing. I think it's a great success, and I hope the boys take advantage of it.
Absolutely. We saw that battle between Alvin Xavier and Anish Shetty, but it was Surya, the amateur, who finished 3rd overall. In the end, took the amateur's title for that race. Just a quick thought. What's the kind of training or preparation that these amateurs were put through before they, rubbing shoulders with the pros?
I had a talk with them and chat with them and said that, see, it is unless and until you ride with better riders, you cannot improve your skill. So this is a golden opportunity for them to ride with better riders to up their game.
Right.
And hopefully by the end of the season, I expect more amateurs to be running ahead with the mixing it with the pros. Maybe not beating them, but the mixing it with the pros. So that's what my idea is.
Super thought. While we talk about the amateurs competing with the pros, let's walk towards the bikes as well. For some of our viewers who might be watching the Royal Enfield GT Cup, Continental GT Cup for the very first time, who missed it last season, can you just quickly talk us through the bike mechanics per se, because this is as close as it gets to the the on-road version that you'll get with minor modifications?
The bikes are basically, engine is box stock standard, no changes to the engine. The only changes for performance change is the exhaust system, which is giving us 12% more power. And we have retuned the front forks, made them stiffer. We are running JK tyres made by JK this year. They're performing really well. We've upgraded the brakes. There are different calipers and disc pads. And the rear shocks are a little stiffer suspension. And otherwise the bike is standard with just a fairing, and clip-ons and foot pegs have come from Harris UK. Otherwise the bikes are absolutely standard. And they're performing really well. If I put this bike in a standard GT together on the track, and the lap time will be at least 15 seconds quicker on this bike.
Wow, that's spectacular. But it's great to see these bikers maneuver these powerful beasts the way they have been. And credit to you and your team for customizing the bike so.
Thank you. And I think that the riders are taking a good amount of performance out of the bike, and they're doing good lap times. Last year we were down to 116. Now this year we have started 118. I'm sure by the end of the last round we should be down to 116s again.
Well, looking forward to that. Thank you so much, Mr. Banana, for speaking with us.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And it's down to race action because it's under 3 minutes to go before this race gets underway. It's over to Karthike in the comm box.
Thank you, Raman. So we are moments away from the start of the second race in this category. That's race number 4 of round 1 of the 25th edition of the JK Tyre FMSCI National Racing Championship. As you can see, 1 minute away from the start of this race. Very quickly, we'll talk you through the grid. Alvin Xavier, the race winner, starts at P1. Then you got Anish Damodar at P2. Surya at P3, Joseph Matthew at P4, Ullas Anand at P5, Anish Samson at P6, then you got Naresh Kaname at P